Hi, my name is Wesley.
My name is Elizabeth.
And my name is Isabel, and we are some of Ethan's favorite people.
And we have also, at times, been some of his least favorite.
We are Ethan's siblings and best friends.
As his brother and sisters, we get to see all sides of Ethan, from the amazing leader and public speaker to the friendly, outgoing person he is, from the kind of person who goes crazy over sports and to the kind of person who loves telling stories, even the ones that embarrass him. To me, he is a person who I can stay up late at night talking about anything, from the silly to the serious. We play ball in the yard and can get a little competitive, but I know he has my back in everything. In much of my life, he's been my best friend. And throughout his time as a state officer, I've seen him bring both his friendliness and his loyalty to the FFA Association.
Since we were little, Ethan has always been my partner in crime, from playing different games around the house to teasing our siblings together. My whole life, I've always looked up to Ethan, and this did not change in high school. The 2 years we spent together in high school are some of my favorite memories, from the mini music-filled car rides to cheering each other on in our sports and cheering together in the student section, the late-night practices in the ag building, and all the different FFA activities we did together. In FFA, Ethan always inspired me to try new things and do different events. He showed me what a true humble leader is and to always make everyone feel welcome because you never know what someone's going through. I would not be the person I am today without Ethan's influence in my life.
While Ethan can be serious when he needs to be, he also has a goofy side to him. This goofy side can be him chasing me around the house and tackling me on the couch when he finds some funny way to make every boring thing better. Ethan has a way of making the stories he tells more dramatic and funny too. He also has a way of making everything he says and does more dramatic. He brought this funniness into this year's FFA experience, making chapter visits, district conventions, banquets, and conferences more fun for everyone. Without Ethan's funny nature, my life and those lives around Ethan would be more boring and plain. It is our honor to introduce
Our brother
and your 2024-2025 Indiana FFA State President, Ethan Wolheter.
This past spring, I had the opportunity to visit Philadelphia and see the Rocky statue and run up those iconic stairs from the movies. And now, I love this spot because I love sports movies. And I'm gonna give you my top 3 in no particular order, and I need you to cheer along if you agree with them. So first, I'm gonna say, remember the Titans? Hoosiers? And of course, Rocky. And although I may not be Rocky Balboa, I do always find characters like him quite inspirational. It always seems as if they have some huge challenge to overcome and some huge goal that they need to achieve. And there's always those characters on the side that are either encouraging them or trying to take them out. As much as we may think we're the main characters in our lives, really, we're just the side characters to everyone else's lives that can either be encouraging them or tearing them down by the words that we say. When I was in middle school, I had the awesome opportunity to go on a YMCA trip with my school. And for someone who loves the outdoors, it was an absolute blast. But by the end of the week, I was exhausted and ready to go home. I remember as I was packing my stuff up into the bus, one of the YMCA camp counselors who had spent the week with us pulls me aside. And I knew I was in trouble. He was going to tell me that I talked too loud or too much. But to my surprise, he leaned down and said, "Ethan, you have influence. You're a natural leader and others look up to you. And you can either use those leadership skills for good or for bad. Always use them for good. Always use your leadership skills for good. Now, 8th grade Ethan was both surprised and excited at first, glad to have earned such a compliment. But the more I thought about it, the more I became a little bit confused. I mean, I knew that when I grew up, I was going to always use my leadership skills for good, but how was I supposed to always use them in my everyday life? Well, something I've learned throughout my life and this year as a state officer is that we all have leadership skills, and we can all use them for good every single day when we are intentional with our influence and choose to interact instead of attack. See, we need to transform ourselves to speak life, and we can transform the world. The studies show that humans speak roughly 16,000 words a day, and I'm sure I outdo that number by quite a bit. But every single one of those words needs to be used to speak life. You may be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, speak life means using kind and encouraging words and engaging in respectful conversations. You see, we can be intentional with our influence when we change how we talk directly to others, face to face. Every single one of those 16,000 words is important and powerful, but they don't always show it right away. Let's say that this bag right here represents someone. When we speak kind and encouraging words, when we speak life, it's kind of like attaching a balloon. And now, one balloon won't do much. When the more are added, the more it has an effect. You are so awesome. I'm so glad I got to see you today. Thank you for being a good friend. Likewise, when we say hurtful things to others, it acts as weights to pull them down. And the thing is, one weight won't do much, but when more are added, it really starts to show. You always ruin everything. Why did you have to mess this up? I wish I had never met you. So when we speak, good or bad, it may not seem as if our words have any effect right away. But the truth is, everything we say can either be lifting someone up or weighing them down. We can use our leadership skills for good every single day when we choose to speak life directly to others. Just like in the movies, how Rocky is preparing for a big boxing match, everyone we come in contact with is either preparing for a challenge or fighting a battle. And we are those characters on the side who can be lifting them up or tearing them down by what we say. But if we choose to be intentional with our influence, we can uplift them to achieve great things. So we're intentional with our influence, but what does it really mean to interact instead of attack? You see, we not only affect others by the words we say directly to them, but also what we say when they are not around. There was a student that I knew when I was in high school, didn't always have the nicest clothes to wear or the newest shoes, and could be a bit socially awkward at times. Due to this, many people jumped to conclusions and judged them, and many people said hurtful things about them behind their back. They made comments like freak, worthless, nothing. Many who had never even met this person before steered clear of them at all costs because they had heard things. Few ever even got to know this student who was kind and funny and always enjoyed helping others out because other people had decided to place hurtful labels on them through gossip. See, the truth about this person or people is that they exist in every school and workplace. And while maybe people are talking about them behind their backs because they had a disagreement or they did something to annoy them or hurt them that may have not even been intentional. Raise your hand for me if you've ever seen a situation like this happen before. Okay, now I have a tougher ask, but I want you to be honest. Raise your hand for me if you have ever been that person to not talk negatively about others behind their back. I am just as guilty of this too. Nonetheless, when we speak harshly about others and we do not even try to connect with them, we are simply tagging hurtful labels on them that others hear about and judge based on. We need to speak life even when others are not around, because we've all been the bully to place labels. But if we choose to interact instead of attack and build those respectful relationships, then we can use our leadership skills for good every single day, and we can help remove those hurtful labels. When my YMCA camp counselor said to me, "Always use your leadership skills for good," I doubt that he had any idea that it would stick with me or inspire me, but it did. You never know how the words you say can impact someone else. And I still try to live up to that inspiring task, and I know we all can when we are intentional with our influence and we choose to interact instead of attack. Think about the words that you say. Are you lifting others up, or are you weighing them down? Are you speaking life directly to others, or are you just placing labels on them through gossip? I know that we can all change ourselves to speak life, and if we do that, we can change our relationships, transform our communities, and change the world one word at a time. As Rocky says in the movies, big arms can move rocks, but big words can move mountains. So let's move mountains by saying words that are life-giving, because we all have the power to uplift others. So let us be intentional with our influence. Let us interact instead of attack, and let us speak life.
So speak life. Darkest night. Speak life. Speak life. When the sun.
Ethan, thank you for being the team's main expert on all things Canada, Bolivia, and lake life. Because of you, none of us will ever eat store-bought maple syrup again. But on a serious note, you're one of the funniest guys I know and one of the most selfless people I've ever met. Thank you for leading with a servant's heart this year, for leaving a lasting impact on countless Indian FFA members. For that, we'll forever be grateful. We laughed, we learned, we made it through. This isn't goodbye. Just see you soon. Well, Stephanie, Garrett, Kai, Sienna, Christina, and Kale. Indiana FFA, your 2024-2025 State President, Ethan Wolheter.